G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for episode number 19 of our dual-wielding pistol Purifier playthrough. I'm back in normal difficulty, which you can see in the top left there, because I wanted to check out some of the guns that I have available. Now, the plan that I had written out for this character has 3 guns remaining, 2 of which I'm going to be looking at right now, and the third one being Francis's gun at level 70. I don't have high hopes for Francis's gun at 70, but maybe. The level 51 was not great. We'll see how the 71 is. The other level 70 gun is this one right here, the Elite Solar Revolver, which, as you can see, has a considerably higher minimum roll on the fire damage and slightly lower maximum roll than the shrapnel pistol I have at the moment. It also has considerably less added flat fire damage on the, I guess you'd call those the implicits. Anyway, 13 to 19 is less than 18 to 28 by a fair amount, and the percentages are probably pretty similar. It does have damage to insects, which, I mean, if you're farming the insects for some reason could be good, but yeah, casting speed is not really something I'm looking for, and it's going to be limited to that one fireball proc, whereas the shrapnel pistol, the crafted one from level 62, has not only the ability to have double fireball procs, which will each proc independently for a silly amount of damage, but because you're crafting it, you see that increase armor by 4% on the infernal shrapnel pistol. That's a crafting bonus for crafting it with, I think it was with Angrim. It also has attack speed instead of cast speed, which is what I want, and it has +2 to fire strike, which is our main attack. It's also converting physical damage to fire, which, do we actually have any physical damage procs? Usually some of these have, yeah, see, like, Meteor Shower here does do some physical damage. We'll be converting some of that. Fissure is all fire. This is going to be Fire and Chaos from memory. Yeah, so there's some minor benefits from converting that. The actual gun itself just does pure fire damage anyway, so that's not really super helpful. But occasionally you'll find, here you go, this proc does physical and chaos damage. Well, actually for us it does physical, chaos, and fire damage. So yeah, we've got a decent amount of fizz to fire conversion. The short version of this is Elite Solar Revolver is not a weapon that I'm going to be using, so that's one of the 3 already off the list. The other one I'm over here to look at is the Coven Hand Cannon, which is level 84, so I will expect it to be better straight out the gate. But how much better, we will see. I don't think it's a blueprint. I think it's an actual weapon. Here we go. So the Coven Hand Cannon, or the Hoven Canned Cannon, as I was about to say, is already worse than the weapons we have. It has pluses to Blackwater Cocktail, which we don't use, cooldown reduction, which I don't care about, offensive ability, which is nice, has less flat fire damage than the level 62 crafted one I'm using, and the Void Nova is just straight up worse than one of the fireballs. I guess if you're near a crowd, it could be better, but for single target, it's worse, and for AOE, well, we're not really struggling with AOE anyway. So that's 2 of the 3 guns that I was planning to use from level 70 and 84. They're just straight up worse than this crafted gun, which means I pretty much have to either get lucky with a crafting another one of these, or with purples and blues, and that's kind of the only option we have. So let's head back into Ultimate and continue on our way. What I may end up having to do is to just rely on the procs. So these things, I may just have to focus on getting more guns like this one with +1 to Inquisitor skills. In fact, if I could get another one of these, I would probably use it over this one, even though this is quite clearly more damage. It may just be better to have the extra skills, get more points in these procs so they trigger more often. We will have to see. In between episodes, I went and killed Martin. a lot. I think I sold 3 of these before I started collecting them to show you. The 3 I sold, I couldn't tell you what stats they had. They weren't good, so I sold them. And these are the ones that I have left. So, of Squalls is okay. We are doing a decent amount of lightning damage. Wanderers is pet stuff, so not interested. I had a lot of mending. There's another Wanderer of Squalls as well. So I'm just going to flick through these so you can have a look if you want to see them. But this was the best one I found. This is probably the one I'm going to be using. There's no damage proc on this one. I don't think I got any with Scorched Ends on them at all. No, it doesn't look like it. So I don't have a resistant of Scorched Ends to upgrade to. This one actually has no resistances on it at all, but it does have a decent chunk of offensive and defensive ability from the readiness suffix. And Mage Hunters is giving me +2 to Inquisitor's Seal, which, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take +4 if you can get it. So, that's the best one I got of those. And I killed Oroprax once at the end of the last video. The first thing I did, I killed Oroprax once and she dropped this, so yeah, I'll take that. This is probably going to be my amulet until I find a purple one at level 100, or at least a much better +1 to Inquisitor skills amulet later on. So, both of these are level 70 required, and to get to level 70 we'll have to go and kill some stuff, so let's go ahead and do that. The only blue item I found that was noteworthy is the Empowered Fiend Leather Girdle, which is +1 to Demolitionist skills, a bunch of offensive ability. I was actually tempted to use this one, if it wasn't going to completely wreck my resistances. And also +2 to Endless Flame, which is actually this one here. So we're not using Flames of Ignifar, so that's pointless, but yeah, that's a lot of offensive ability, which would have been quite nice. Anywho, we were up to Twin Falls. However, let's go and turn in a bunch of stuff first. Oh, I found some purples too. I think I had this one already, but yeah, I found the Crimson Spike and Pagar's Betrayal. Not going to use either of them. In fact, let's go blow them up for scrap. Hope for something nice. Ethereal Mutagen. It's not nice. Right, so we got some quests to turn in. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we will go through the Arkovian Undercity. So, Stephen Skinner, thank you very much for the ring I'm not going to use, and the XP, which has actually got us most of the way towards 68. Though having said that, if you go back and look at how much XP I had at the end of the previous episode, and then look at where I was at the start of this one, I think I farmed Martin for most of a level. Level 68, where were we up to? I think we were putting points in Blast Shield. I want 10 out of 12 on Blast Shield. It's just a good cutoff number. It's where you start getting less maximum all resists, I think it was. There's something that stops scaling on this at 10 out of 12. And so that's what I want. We'll go talk to Barnabas here. I don't think he gives us any XP at the moment. No, he just tells us we're going to Homestead. This is a little risky going here with XP gear on, but I think the only thing that's going to be attacking us is going to be zombies, maybe. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Okay, Morning sent me, what do you need? Yep, thanks for the XP. And I found some text for you. There we go, we've just reached the nicest level, which is quite good. Oops, what did I just do? There we go. Right, what else we got? Bernard at the Rover Camp in the Arkovian foothills. Oh, that is... Oops, I think I just bashed the mic. My apologies for your ears. That's going to be back here. Level 69, so 2 more points in Blast Shield. I hope to never see that trigger. I expect that I probably will. So, yep, you can have that back. I don't actually want it. And there's Honoured with the Rovers, which is very nice. So let's go have a look at their honored stuff. I don't expect I'm going to be buying anything other than the writ. And actually I'm thinking I might not even buy the writ.
Yeah.
Let's just see what they have. I don't think they have any gun-related things. There may be some augments that I can make use of, though.
Come see what's left of my wares.
So this is the honored section. They do indeed have some augments, none of which are particularly amazing. However, not particularly amazing is still considerably better than I'm not using anything at all. So we'll have a look at that. And Void Vine is 8 flat fire damage. Let's just see if they have any fire damage stuff. I guess this is actually the only fire damage stuff that they have, which will fix my lightning resist problem. So I'm kind of tempted to take 3 of these, actually. Energy regen I don't care about. The elemental damage is such a minor number that I don't think it's really relevant, but the resistances are nice. This is the other one I was looking at for the offensive ability. Actually, it would be this one. Rings and amulets. No, it would be this one. Yeah. This is also kind of okay. I guess that's a weapon thing though, so that's obviously not going to happen. Yeah, so there's nothing there. What about any... Well, I'm not using amulets, but what about rings? Nope, no rings. And for the belts, or for the blueprints, they have the occultist belt with the doom bolt proc, and that's kind of it. So I guess I'll take the writ. And do I have all of these? I've already bought the ones that I needed, I think. Yeah, I've already bought the majority of those. Alright, so we'll use that, and let's head on over to Twin Falls. Actually, there was one other thing I wanted to check, which I probably should check if I actually have the reputation for it. Where is Devil's Crossing? It's going to be under D, isn't it? There it is. Okay, we are honored with them, so potentially
I'll give you a good price.
they might have some nice stuff. No, 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 and 20 offensive ability. That's going to be the same as the other one, which was the Rovers. And from memory had lightning, so I'm just going to grab 3 of those and just... Or actually, I'm going to grab 5 of those, because I'm going to be replacing the amulet and a medal.
See anything you like.
So I guess I only need 4.
Iron well spent.
But this is better than nothing, which is what I would have here otherwise. And you'll notice we're getting 24 for each of these, so we've got some percentage stuff scaling it somewhere. Alright, resistances are not great, so I am actually going to change my mind on one of those. Okay. Amulet done. I'm going to need another one for this amulet as well. Right. Now we're under control. And finally, after 13 minutes of running around and talking, let's go shoot something. So I am going to do the totem over here. I don't care about the devotion shrines anymore, obviously, but I mean, you all know I love totems, so we're going to do that. Haros Dread successfully didn't stand inside my Inquisitor Seal. Okay, put another one down, and I'm going to throw... I think we only get 2 sets of these at a time. That's fine. Turn the loot off so I can see what's going on, and Falgar's already half dead before I even look at him, which is surprising. I didn't expect that. Let's just go ahead and not stand in the ethereal group. And there we go. Now I did hear 2 items drop. I think they're going to be blues. Nope, double purples. Okay. Now these are probably going to be level 50 purples, which means I need to not get too excited about it. But let's have a look at them. So Dawn Shard is elemental stuff. which would be another proc for us. Losing Aether, Chaos, and Elemental, and the Inquisitor's Seal is probably a little much for me, but that is a nice amount of attack speed and armor. And the flat elemental damage and the proc doesn't hurt either. So if I do this... Okay, this component will fix up the bleeding, that's no problem. Aether is fixed by... Oh, Aether is not fixed by pushing that button. Do either of these have Aether on them? They don't. Okay, so that's a hold on to it kind of thing. Let's actually move all these to the back. That also doesn't have Aether Resist on it. That also doesn't have Aether Resist on it. Okay, so Aether Resistance is the problem, shall we say, that this character is going to have. What else we get? Blaze Thread Sash. Not going to use that. And the other purple was the Crimson Lotus. I believe this is a craftable belt from, I want to say Soleil, but I think it's called White Lotus, but it seems very similar, shall we say. It's a lot of armor, but it's +1 for the wrong class, so that one's out as well. Alright, let me just sort this. I probably shouldn't be messing with inventory. But, you know, OCD and all that. I don't think I'm actually OCD, but you probably can't tell. Okay, anyway, let's continue on our way. So I've done that. I'm going to check up the top here for the part of the 3 scraps that you have to collect. There's occasionally a pedestal here that has one, so you can get one of the scraps before you go into the Arkovia Undercity. Second potential location just here. It's not there either way, so let's just pick up this quest as well. And at some point I'll turn this quest in. Probably. Empowered Eye of the Beholder. Here's that hat, which is not very good. Okay, so our first piece, or our first lectern is right here. So, we've got 1 out of 3, now we only need to find 2 once we're inside. I am 100% done with Devotion, so that's basically just a really, really weak totem at this point, in terms of what I'm going to get out of it, so I'm just going to skip it, and let's get into the Arkovian Undercity. Now while we're here, I will of course be... You know what, this is usually blocked, I'm going to go this way. We're going to be looking for the other 2 pages for the Depths of Old Arkovia quest. I'm going to be killing the 3 named undead. So Nomos Dread, Lados Vagra, and Ravina Kura. I will be killing those, and I think I'm going to go kill Rian as well. Just on the off chance that he does drop his chest component. I don't know that I particularly want to use it, but it is another fire damage proc that also steals life. So it could be decent. At the moment I'm using this because elemental resistance. So that is generally not very good if you're having to use your chest for elemental resistances. There's probably issues. And let's be honest, there definitely is issues with elemental resistances. Where's the priest? There he is. Okay, now we can kill this guy. There he goes. See why I hate priests? Now imagine that was Musilaki or maybe Ilgor in the Steps of Torment. Priests are the bane of my existence in this place. They also heal things like the Revenants as well. They're just generally a pain in the backside, so anyone who has a yellow glow is going to get a bullet, or several bullets. Alright, No More Stretch should go down without too much issue. There he goes. Blade Dancer's handguard's not amazing from memory. Let's have a look at him. Biz damage, pierce damage, cunning. Physical resistance on that is actually quite good. And the fact that they Okay, so it's melee weapon, but that revenge is actually somewhat decent if you have good weapons. Which I guess we kind of already established that I don't have good weapons. But that's fine, that's fine. We'll find something. It'll be okay. I'm not panicking over the guns yet. Hopefully I won't need to panic over them at all, but there really doesn't appear to be any good MI options for fire damage pistols. And I would be relying on getting fire damage prefixes on, or fire damage affixes rather, on physical weapons, where the fire damage affixes are converting the damage to fire, which is not a good way to get your weapons. Ideally, if you're trying to do fire damage, you want to have a weapon that just does fire damage. And I think even higher level weapons with physical damage that you're converting half of are probably not even going to be as good as the gun that I have at the moment. But we will see. I'll probably find some sort of blue or purple gun that's at least usable. And then at 94, well, I don't have the Dagalon set, but I can start looking for it. And there are other sets as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be Dagalons. I haven't really looked at endgame stuff too much yet, but there will be something, I'm sure. In the meantime, pew pew. I'm seeing health bars going up. Where's the priest? Or am I imagining it? That's also possible. There he is, Flame Revenant. Got him! Okay, Black Grimoire, don't care. 2 more purples, Clairvoyance Mantle, Soul Catcher. Neither of which are particularly amazing. So this is the Clairvoyance Mantle. And I think that's an Albrecht's Aether Ray kind of set. Yep, so that's rubbish. I mean, it's not rubbish, but it's not something we're going to use. Volcanum here is actually pretty good. Let's, I'm going to chuck that aside while I deal with this Revenant. Okay, so let's have a look at this. What does this actually do? It gives us +3 to Thermite Mine, +2 to Inquisitor Seal, and some other stuff which is okay. This one, +3 to a Thermite Mine, +2 to Ignition. I don't think I'm actually using Ignition. Where is Ignition? I don't actually know where Ignition is. It might even be one of these. It's not. There it is. So that's Rune of Callister. Okay. But +3 to Thermite Mine is the reason why I was taking this. The flat fire damage to Thermite Mine is neither here nor there. We're not... It doesn't have... maybe it does do enough damage, actually. It would be a decent chunk of damage, but we're basically taking this for the elemental resistance, so I don't really care, I don't think, about that. The duration on the Thermite Mine is long enough, I think. Lives for 18 seconds, and I can just throw them whenever I like, so that really doesn't matter. I think I kind of like this one. The maximum fire resist is really nice. The offensive ability is less, but we'll have additional fire and burn damage compared to this one. Also get plus max fire res, and we get that magma orb, which is actually a pretty good proc, so I think I'm going to end up using that. Obviously we will have to wait and see, because I might get something better in the meantime. But especially if I'm going to be using damage procs to kind of try and make up for the fact that the guns are going to be not so great, shall we say, then having that extra proc might be good. Though having said that, going and farming another one of these with Scorched Ends on it could also be quite good. I think Scorched Ends does a lot more damage. Oh, this is 4 to 7 fragments. Okay, yeah, no, never mind. I take it all back. I think I'm going to use this one at 70 and then swap to this one. But, like I said, we will have to wait and see if I find anything better. Okay, let's just spread some love around back this way, because I think I saw a priest. Even if I didn't, they all need to die anyway. Reflective, I'm going to start reflecting dots and things back to myself. But I think I actually managed to time that accidentally perfectly. So I was shooting other things while he was reflective, and then it wore off just in time for me to start shooting him again. Alright, so we're coming up here on Laudos Vagra, who we are going to shoot in the face until he dies. And I will say, we're not taking huge amounts of damage at the moment, so I think we'll be alright, even with less damage. If we can just stand there and tank most things with the Inquisitor Seal, I think it'll be fine anyway. Having said that, none of this stuff sunders either, so... First time we run into a boss that can sunder and just won't die, it's going to be an issue. For now, though, it's okay. And we can always make changes later. It may be that I have to change to lightning guns or something like that. We'll have to see. The other thing that I could do is look at doing... I actually don't know if this is possible, but I do know you can do Aether guns, and I know that Inquisitor actually has a lot of support for Aether. So I know Apostate or Spellbinder, I think is the other one that people usually do Rutnik's pistols with, but maybe it'll work. It might be better. We'll have to wait and see. I guess the downside to fire pistols is there's just no fire pistol that you can go and farm. So from 62 all the way to 100, this is probably the best fire pistol in the game that isn't random drop purple or blue. It's actually a little sad, but it is what it is. I can't just cheat in an item. Well, I guess I could. GD stash does exist, but that kind of defeats the purpose. At that point I may as well just cheat the character up to level 100, give myself perfect gear and be done with it. And then quit and never play again, because it's boring now. Alright, let's throw her some thermite mines. And we'll put a hurting on it. Alright, where's the priest? Here it is. Priests against characters with low damage are awful. Alright, let's get down here, see if we can't get us a... Nope. Let's scale leg wraps, maybe? Hang on a second. Where were those pants? So, less armor. Does have Aether res, but it's less, so yeah, no. It's fine. I wonder if I can maybe take one of those ward stones off. Doesn't look like it, but it would be nice. I'm already using a dense fur on my boots, which is also not something I love. Got some regen going, which is nice. Let's go play with Kilrian. Now, Kilrian is one of the bosses that you really want to make sure there's no priests around for, because you really don't want to see his health bar go up again, especially on a character that actually doesn't have a huge amount of damage already. There's level 70, so we do get some gear swapping to do. Let's have a look what we had. So that one needs to go on. That definitely needs to go on. And I think that was it. So we definitely need these 2 ward stones for the bleeding resist. It only just takes us over the cap. We would actually be fine for elemental without those, but yeah, bleeding is obviously going to be an issue. The other thing I could do is I could drop that last scaled hide, just completely give up on using armor anyway, because it's actually quite low, and get another silk swatch, but that still wouldn't cap it, so I guess we're sticking with the ward stones. Also, the ward stones are giving me some run speed. Looks like I don't need it, but they do have it. Okay, so let's salvage rather than blowing up, and we will keep the add-on. There we go. Resistances are okay. This is a problem. This is a real problem. Look what happens to this when Word of Renewal wears off. It's not capped anymore. It's not as bad as I thought it was. I guess the Paladin has a much higher level rank here, but it's still not great. Alright, as long as I'm here, may as well
I'll give you a good
vendor all
price
this.
for what I've got left.
Hitting Honored with a bunch of factions is kind of good. Nope, can't use it. Just because I don't have augments doesn't mean I can't get anything useful from them.
See you
So
around.
for example, if I was to go back to normal and go to the Coven, I could use their, Coven Void Armor or whatever it's called. I could look into using some of that. It's still not going to be amazing, but it's usable. We could also head back to normal and check out the Mammoth Resistance. They have some really nice armor sets, although I think they're probably not so great for us. So here we go. Kilrian's going down actually quite slowly. It's not painfully slow with him, but it's not great either. He did indeed drop his Shattered Soul, and that has attack speed, which has me interested. Let's actually go to Broken Hills, and let's have a look at if I can use this. So, Kilrian's Shattered Soul has 20% Vitality Resist, which is, I'm not going to say it's worthless, but it's not very useful. And it would be replacing 12% Elemental Resistance, so 42, 62. Okay, yes, I'm doing that. I'm doing it right now. Kilrian's Shattered Soul, for those of you who've never used it, is the only component that is a drop only from a single specific monster or a single specific enemy. Every other component is either a blueprint or a drop from pretty much anywhere. This is a unique component in that regard. Fire and Vitality, and the proc there is when you get hit, it puts kind of like a ring of fire around you, and it burns and drains health from anything near you. So it's pretty good. Let's go ahead and keep the item here. Now, we did lose some defensive ability, which it's not amazing, but it's fine. And let's continue on. So, Broken Hills. A little bit of just running through here. Do have to kill the harpy boss, I guess you'd call it. Let's see if we can get Kilrian's thing to proc. So just watch around me. You'll see there it is. See that ring of purple fire? That's the proc on Kilrian's Shattered Soul. And like the damage is not super amazing. It's 1,000 fire and about 3,000 vitality. But it does lifesteal, so that's definitely good. I took off my movement skill. I was wondering why I was pushing button 1 and nothing was happening. It's because that button doesn't exist anymore. Alright, did I? I did. Good. There we go. So I'm not sure why, but over the last maybe 3 or 4 characters, I've started to use Rush on all of them. And I think I prefer it to the Shield Bash, or the Blitz clones that I used to use, because you don't need a target, so it's good for traveling. You can cover a decent amount of ground with it. Although, you know, you kind of have to know where you're going with it too.
That skill's not ready.
Alright, so just down here is Lutra, and we're going to pay her a visit. Just say hi, you know, shoot her in the face a few times, nothing amazing. So Lutra is gone. Now I was going to do the totem if it was here, but I don't see it, so I'm not going to run all the way to the Steps of Torment for an ancient totem. Probably not going to use this one, nope. Alright, so Paldrak the Warmonger apparently doesn't do enough damage to get through the Inquisitor Seal, which I'm okay with. Okay. Also, something I've just been thinking about, and this is not a big enough deal that I'm actually going to go and change anything, but if you look at where I have my components placed, the scaled hide that's on my shoulder here should actually be on my pants, because it provides local armor, and pants gets hit more than your shoulders do, so very, very minor optimization that just popped into my head, and I don't know why. The silk swatch on the pants doesn't provide any armor, so in a perfect world where I didn't do silly things, that would not happen. But, you know, we don't live in a perfect world, and I do silly things. And also, I don't think that's a big enough optimization to actually worry about it. I can't remember when I put them on there either. It may have been that when I put them on, it wasn't an issue, and I just didn't notice it. It's definitely not an issue even now, but it's just something to notice. Something to talk about while I gradually shoot my way through the hordes of enemies. Level 70 does also seem to be about the point where Ultimate starts scaling fairly high. Okay, I don't know that this is an actual design decision or if it's even a thing, but it seems like during normal they kind of expect you to have about 50% resistances and to not really be focusing on getting damage stats on your gear. Normal is more or less doable with just whatever you happen to find. And then in Elite, it seems like they kind of expect you to have maybe maxed most of your resistances, have decent armor, and maybe have a little bit of damage sort of creeping into your build. By the time you get to level 70 or so in Ultimate, it seems like what they expect you to do, or what they expect you to have, is maxed all resistances, and the augments free up enough affixes on your gear that they kind of expect you to have damage stats on your gear as well. So, like I said, I don't know that that's actually a thing, if that's something that whoever was making the game at the time decided, or if that's just kind of how it feels. But that is kind of how it feels, so definitely feels like around about now they're expecting you to actually start focusing on damage because your defenses are under control. Which makes sense when you think about it. All of the armor augments that give you armor, or not armor, resistances. If you get one armor augment for every single slot, that'll give you 7, and you get 9% resistances to 2 different types on most of the augments. So 9 times 7, 63. So you get 63% to 2 different resistances, or, you know, spread across however many. It's 126% resistances, and I was gushing last episode about, you know, this amulet, or where was it, that had stupid resist. I think it might have been one of the rings. Might have even been on the paladin. But I was saying like 120 resistances is crazy. That's nuts. It's like really, really good. And it is. And that's what you are missing out on from skipping Elite. You're missing an amazing item worth of resistances because you don't have access to augments. So I guess can you skip Elite? Absolutely. I wasn't sure about the damage. I know in patch 1.2 they definitely toned down the damage in Ultimate for low levels, but I didn't think they toned it down that much. Turns out they did. So you can survive at least for a while, but we are missing a lot of resistances that are basically free for not using the augments that we don't have access to. Alright, so I'm hunting for the treasure trove in here right now. And 2 more spots it could be just here. So 1 along here, 1 just at the other side of this little platform. And if they're not there, well, it is here, but there was 1 more place where it could have been later on. Spite Wraith Girdle. No good. Herald of the Apocalypse. Is that a gun? That is an amulet. That's the one with the physical and fire devastation. Yeah. It's actually not bad. It's not bad. Alright, here's Icrix. So we're going to take him out. Icrix the Ravener. He is gone. That is the body we were sent to click on. So Prismatic of the Cabal is pretty good. There's Old Mate's dead sister's body. Dahlia Tavern has not survived the dangers of the mountain deeps. I mean, surprise, you've seen all the trolls and bugs and all the rest of it in here. I wouldn't want to come in here either. This bug is bigger than a person. And there's like 5 or 6 of them just in this one group. Coming in here would be suicide for your average human. Alright, got all the loot. Let's get out of here. So Homestead is kind of where I'm starting to get a little bit afeared. The second half of Homestead up towards Darkvale Gate is kind of where the damage goes up in normal. Even with good resistances, having all that chaos and vitality coming at you, and I think it's just more damage in addition to maybe you don't have the right resistances. But the second half of Homestead definitely feels like the point in normal at which they really ramp up the damage and start testing your defenses. So I'm a little bit scared of it. This being the first character I'm gonna have that's skipped Elite and gone into it. And I'm not super thrilled about this character's defenses anyway. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, I'm a little bit worried. Having said that, I've been a little bit worried on many other characters, and it's turned out to be perfectly fine, so I'm hoping this is going to be the case now. I definitely don't want this character to die just when I start having fun with it. Which, I mean, I know I said this last time, but I really didn't expect to enjoy this character at all. So the fact that I do is pretty good. Alright, so Harath the Slaughterer should go down relatively quickly, and then that guy with the green gun over there, I'm gonna go shoot him. You. Alright, what do we got? Dreadnought footpads. Level 75. More armor is good. More physical resist is good. The fact that it doesn't have that defensive proc and it doesn't have percent armor means I'm probably not going to use it. Grenadier shoulder pads. I think I have a pair of those. So I've got 2 of them. And I don't think I'm going to use either. These ones are clearly the better pair though, so I'll hang on to those and sell the other one. Okay, we have made it to Homestead. Let's do the talkie thing. Do I care anymore? Not really, but maybe we should do it anyway.
I'll give you a good price on what
Fire. This one's okay. More elemental and burn damage is not bad. I think I'll buy that one. Buy them both, why not?
iron well spent.
Okay, oh, we need to go fetch Old Mate, don't we? This one, I think. We need to go fetch Ulgrim Segal. And we may as well talk to Colin while we're here. I don't really want to fight anything at the moment, since I'm here in non-combat equipment. So, Ulgrim, Minerva. Okay, we can go do that. There shouldn't be anything here to fight. And if there is, I'm just going to run away. I don't know why, but it kind of seems like the character is running around in their underwear. Alright, so we just picked up 2 more attributes. I'm actually thinking I'm going to put more points into Spirit. So the way this works is Cunning will give you bonus to physical and piercing damage, and then all the other damage types come under this sort of big cloud of magical damage. So if you're doing fire, cold, lightning, poison, vitality, aether, or chaos damage, that counts as magic damage. So 10 points here is about 40% more damage, or not 40% more damage. I guess if you're using the PoE terms, it's plus 40% damage, or 40% increased damage, rather, for the PoE terms. It's not a more thing, it's an increased thing. For those of you who play that game, you'll understand that. It's not... How to explain this? Okay, so cold is going to go from 324%. Now it was 200 and... well, it's not, it's added on top of this. So 324%, it's actually 364%, something like that. It's not, I'm not explaining this well. I think you guys will understand, like, you're not idiots, but yeah, I didn't explain that well. It's increasing the bonus magical damage from 240 to 280. It's not multiplying everything by 140%. There we go. We got there in the end. Why do I keep putting the wrong items on? Alright, pants, helmet, chest, done. Shoulders. Was this the good one? No. That's the good one. Alright, alright. And that one. Jeez, what a mess. Shouldn't try and explain simple things in complicated ways. Alright, let's go ahead and sell all this, and how are we looking for time? I'm probably going to end the episode here, actually, so thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.